大家好，欢迎来到科林英语课堂。今天我们要和大家分享一个经典英语习语 Make heads or tails of something。 我是你们的主讲老师丽丽老师。
Hello, welcome to Corley English. Today we will learn a classic idiom in English, make heads or tails of something. I'm your second instructor, George Corley. The phrase make heads or tails of something or make head or tail of something means to understand or comprehend something at a basic level.
翻译成中文也就是对某物有了基本的或浅层次的理解。
This is a variation of a saying that has been around since ancient times, first attested by the Roman writer Cicero, who wrote "nec caput nec pedis," neither head nor feet, to describe confusion. In English, heads or tails itself is an idiom that refers to the act of tossing a coin in the air and checking which side is showing when it lands in order to make a decision between two options.
用中文来讲 heads or tails 经常被用来指靠掷币来决定某事。具体来讲，也就是将硬币置于空中，靠猜测其落地时是正面还是反面朝上，而对某事做出抉择。在两个选择间犹豫不决，拿不定主意的时候，很多人都会求助于抛硬币这种方式。英文中相对应的表达为 flip a coin or toss a coin。 硬币有正反两面，正面称为 heads， 也就是头，反面称为 tails， 也就是尾。这里大家要特别的注意一下，这种情形下，这两个名词都是以复数形式来出现的。在掷硬币之前，我们通常会事先说好正反面分别代表什么，然后抛硬币的人会说 Call it in the air， 也就是让双方在硬币落地之前猜测正面还是反面朝上。如果一方猜了正面，而落地后硬币却是反面朝上，那就意味着另一方赢了。
Let's take a look at how heads or tails can be used in daily life.Okay, whoever wins this coin toss is sent to the store to get groceries. Heads or tails?
Whatever the result of the toss is, heads or tails, nobody is allowed to risk their life to go to the store. Let's place an order online. 现在咱们的问题就是 heads or tails， 也就是掷硬币这个表达跟咱们今天的习语有没有关联呢？ So George,My question here is, does coin flipping have anything to do with the idiom we are learning today?
I don't think it has anything to do with the origin, but it might help you to understand the meaning. If you had a coin and didn't know which side was heads and which side was tails, you could quite literally say, I can't make heads or tails of it.
Okay, I guess that does make sense. I mean, it's really basic to know which side is heads and which side is tails, which indicates the idiom make heads or tails of something means to understand or comprehend something at a very basic level, as you explained at the very beginning.
Yeah, just as we see in those first uses, this expression is almost always used in the negative. As in, I can't make heads or tails of it, or he couldn't make head nor tail of it, in order to indicate that something is extremely confusing or unfamiliar.
是的，正如柯老师刚才所提到的，这个习语的否定形式更常用一些。我们可以用它的否定形式来形容某人因对某件事情或某种状况不解而呈现出的一头雾水、一脸蒙圈的困惑状。这个应该很容易理解。如果在某件事情上连最基本的理解层面都达不到，可以想象这件事是多么的令人费解，让人摸不到头脑。它的肯定形式呢，我们压根儿不用吗？
We do see a positive use of it as a request sometimes, when someone who has already failed at understanding something is asking for help, as in, I have been trying so hard to make sense of it. See if you can make heads or tails of this. Here are some more examples to help you grasp when the affirmative form can be used. I've been studying this chart for ages and I don't get what it's trying to say. Can you make heads or tails of this?
This book is so hard to read. Have you been able to make heads or tails of what he's saying?
I've never seen an animal like this. See if you can make head or tail of it. However, these examples are rare, and you probably would never hear a positive statement like, he made heads or tails of it, because, as we said earlier, to make heads or tails of something just means you have the most basic understanding of it. And it's much more interesting to say when you don't have that understanding. When you can't make head or tail of something, you can't understand it at all. You might not even know what the thing you're talking about is or where to start to understand. Think of an academic paper in a field you've never studied, or a complicated machine you've never used or seen used. Usually it's something very complex and difficult to comprehend, but it could just be something incredibly unfamiliar. The coin example is one way to understand it. But you could also think of looking at an alien creature and not knowing which end was the head and which was the tail.
Oh yeah, I find when it comes to understanding this idiom, it really helps to think about its meaning from the literal level, whether it involves heads or tails of a coin or heads or tails of animals. 中文中我们有一个歇后语跟该习语的否定形式表达的意思很相似，也就是丈二和尚摸不着头脑。我们通常会用这个歇后语来描绘某人因搞不清楚状况而迷惑不解的样子，用它来翻译咱们今天学习的习语还是蛮贴切的，对不对？
Here are a few more examples to help you better understand the idiom. The instructions were so complicated he couldn't make heads or tails of them. That movie was too weird. I couldn't make head nor tail of the plot. I've never seen writing like this before. I can't make head or tail of it. She couldn't make head nor tail of the painting because it was so abstract and muddled.
好的，谢谢柯老师的例子。有了我们的讲解和实例演示，相信大家现在已经掌握了 make heads or tails of something 这个习语的用法。在本月底首播的发音第二课的正课中，我在汉译英的字幕翻译中有用到该习语，请大家在上课的过程中特别的留意一下。第一个在字幕译文中找到该习语，并在评论栏抢到沙发的同学们有奖哦。建议大家课下勤加练习，并尽力把它用在以后的英文对话中，相信用了它之后，你的英文立马会提升一个档次。好了，今天的课程就先到这儿，咱们下节课见吧。
See you next lesson. Bye.